What's happening, people? This week just keeps getting better. It's been a quiet enough week, to be honest, but later in the week, on Friday and tomorrow, Thursday, there is a lot of music dropping that I'm very much so interested in. So Orbit Culture dropping a song out of the blue. I didn't notice this coming. I don't keep an eye on a lot of bands' socials or anything like that, so I never really know when songs are coming. So all of a sudden I open my YouTube in the morning and there's a new song there. I'm like, oh shit, yeah. I prefer it that way anyway, because it's just exciting. Instead of like knowing that something's dropping, it's fun to just get jump scared sometimes, especially with a band that I've been enjoying so much, with all of the singles that they've rolled out from their upcoming album, which comes out in 29 days. Death Above Life releases on the 3rd of October. This new song is called Nerve. It is track number 6 and is the 4th single that the band has released. I'm assuming they'll do one more maybe on the day of album release, which will mean that there's going to be 5 new songs on the album. So pretty standard for like modern releases on albums. 5 singles, 5 non-singles. You've listened to half the album before it even drops. You know, it is what it is. Obviously, it's the choice of the listener to decide whether or not they want to listen to the singles. So you can't really blame the label or the band or anything like that for putting out loads of singles, because you're the one consuming them, so I cannot complain. But this one is going to be very exciting. Drop a like in this video if you want to see me dress up as a caveman for the full album reaction when that drops, because I think it's just appropriate at this point. Every single song has devolved me. Did that make sense? Devolved me slightly. So I think we're going to have to go full Neanderthal. So I'll find some costume on Amazon and I'll throw that shit on. Drop a like in this video if you want to see that. Otherwise, let's get into this. We're going to listen to the song in full and then we're going to yap about it after. So let's go. Okay. The usual slow start, atmospheric build up, but I'm sure this won't last for very long. This one's also like 5.5 minutes long, almost 6. That Buster feel in the mix ever present. Metallica mode. Some nice detailing, some okay. All right, here we go. This is what I came for. This is what I came for. I'm just not even trying to beat around the bush. A little bit different. I fear that this is not the end though. I fear we got another level in this. Okay. Let me listen to this again and come back with a review, brothers. All right, we're back and we're going to talk about the song. So let's first of all address the James Hetfield in the room here, because this is most certainly playing into the, I guess, the observations from the Orbit Culture fan base, and anyone that I've spoken to that maybe is familiar with Orbit Culture usually recognizes that there is an evident Metallica inspiration at times throughout their music. Now, obviously, sonically and the overall soundscapes that this band produce are nowhere near the same sphere as Metallica. Like, they're obviously in a different ballpark. This is a lot more modern, having one of the better and more renowned producers in the modern metal space in Buster Oderholm being involved in the, you know, the mixing and the production or whatever is obviously a massive reason as to why it sounds so different to Metallica, because it's just two different worlds. It's completely different. But not only do the vocals in the more melodic sections give me James Hetfield vibes, there's also a thrashy feel to the song for the first like 4 minutes or so, which is kind of undeniable. And then you pair that with the already similar to James Hetfield delivery in the clean vocals. It does have a Metallica feel to it, just like a really modernized Metallica. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely cannot get into Metallica's music. I've liked songs here and there, but for the most part, anything I've heard is just so far from the style of metal music that I was introduced to the genre with. I know Metallica are an absolutely classic band and everyone loves them for different reasons, but I just can't do it. Again, appreciate everything they've done, iconic band, but they're just so far removed from what I like about metal music in general. So this band, this is the fourth single. Obviously they've been kind of blowing up a lot in the scene, which has been really, really cool. I know they've been around for years, but I feel like they're getting their flowers. I've only jumped on board recently, and I've seen like crazy views across short form, across my YouTube videos for checking out all these songs, and for good reason. The songs are very fun to react to, and people are obviously really resonating. A lot of people don't like the band because I think about Orbit Culture, which I think is a massive like positive about their music, but also can be served in the opposite direction as being kind of a negative thing if you're into the sound, is that they kind of find an overall soundscape or like just a tone of a song, and they kind of just sit in that for the majority of the song. A lot of the songs are in the same tonal ballpark, which I like because obviously it's an album and it's going to all fit together and you'll kind of get this overall experience of the album. But I completely understand that the critiques that a lot of people have had with this band is that a lot of the songs start to sound the same. A lot of the like tones and stuff are very dark and in the same ballpark in terms of the overall like soundscapes and just atmospheres. So, you know, it just kind of depends on which way you want to look at it. Me personally, I love when an album has a bit of a theme, but I do understand the critique that a lot of these songs can start to sound the same. Now, me personally, this song is probably my least favorite from the 4 singles. I would have The Tales of War at number 1. Probably Death Above Life at number 2, just because of how much it sounds like Humanity's Last Breath. Hydra at number 3, and Nerve, the most recent single that we've just checked out, would be in the final spot for me. I don't know, I just do feel like this one is probably an example, the best example from the 4 singles, that I really think that the people that are saying that they can't get on board with this band because a lot of their songs just sound kind of repetitive, I think this is probably the best example. Now, don't get me wrong, they do like switch it up in moments. There is some fun lead work in this. There's a solo in there. But ultimately, the first 4 minutes of the song kind of, again, bathe in that, which in a live environment, when you just want to focus on a groove, is great. But overall, from like a music point of view, it doesn't shift enough to really get me that involved. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think Overculture are really fun to listen to. I don't think they're going too far on with this one. And maybe it'll make more sense in the context of the album. I mean, Death Above Life, which again I mentioned is my second favorite of the singles so far, is the song that comes after this, which is a little bit different to this. This one's a little bit more thrashy, whereas Death Above Life is a little bit more in the realm of like Humanity's Last Breath, like more, not like Thal, but it's in that slow, sludgy pace, with some dissonant notes and shit like that. So it is a little bit different and maybe a little bit more dynamic sonically. So maybe this will serve as like the perfect intro into that song, or I guess progression into that song. So yeah, it feels like it opens up a little bit after the 4-minute mark. There's a lot of tension being built. We kind of get like a heavier moment, and then we get some like cool tapping riffs, which kind of reminded me of Gojira after the initial drop at like the 4-minute mark. And then around the 5-minute mark, we get like a big kind of breakdown to see the song out, which was fun, and I guess to me kind of saved this song. But I don't know if this is one that I'll go back to too much. Looking at the comments here, usually the comments this early, I just checked out this video. They have got an official video that's coming out, but I haven't checked it out yet. It's just because it comes out a little bit later on, and I won't have time to check it out later on. And I was excited to check this out. So yeah, like a lot of people in the comments here are saying that they're absolutely stoked with this. There's very little like negative feedback, which there never really is this early in, you know, a band releasing a song, because it's all the massive fans of the band that are, well, actually there's one. New Orbit is mid. Finally a good new single. All the other singles have been super disappointing. This is The Orbit I Love. Yeah, some people in the comments are saying that they wish that the other singles sounded like this. Apparently this is a little bit closer to their older stuff. So maybe I just really enjoy the new direction that they've gone in with some of the other singles. But yeah, maybe I'll go back and check out some of the old stuff at some point. But yeah, overall, I'm actually going to pull up Album of the Year here. I know there's a channel, what's his name? Oh, fuck, I can't remember what his name is. I don't remember what his name is, but he always does the Album of the Year ratings, which I think is pretty cool. I don't currently have like a rating system, but I would like to do something where at the end of my videos, I actually kind of conclude with a rating, because I do think it kind of puts a stamp on the video, and it's almost like a beginning, middle, and end. I feel like there's never really a proper end to the videos without me just yapping. So I will give a rating. I'm leaning towards a kind of 70 or 65. This is on Album of the Year, by the way, just a website. You can just rate songs and albums and shit. And it's kind of cool to be able to keep track of all the albums you've rated. So I might start doing this at the end of my videos. We'll see. But I think I'm leaning towards, like, I would give the Tales of War, I would give that like a 90. I think that's such a great song. I would give maybe Death Above Life maybe like an 8 or an 80, I should say. Maybe Hydra would get like a 7.9. So I think a fair rating for this one's probably like a 70. I think this would serve well as like a good gym track, but I don't think it does much to excite me beyond that. Maybe it'll make a little bit more sense in the context of the album. But for now, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. 70 out of 100. Again, these ratings might change over time because I don't have much context based on other songs that I've liked, because I haven't been consistently rating songs recently. But I am going to give this a 70 for Nerve. So there is my first Album of the Year rating. Maybe I'll keep doing this as we go. But yeah, guys, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching the video. Leave a like if you want to see me dress up as a motherfucking caveman for the album react. I'm looking forward to checking out the album. Maybe we'll throw some fun props in there and have a bit of fun with it. So leave a like in the video if you want to see me turning into an actual Neanderthal this time, dressed up as one. And yeah, see you in the next one, lads. Cheers.